What is a cat's favorite piece of sports equipment? A litter boxing glove. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Happy Wednesday. I hope there is a stream. I hope there is a stream tonight. I'm sorry about last night. I don't know what happened. I was 5 or 6 minutes into the stream, and Jelly came down here and told me that I wasn't live anymore. But thank you for being here tonight. We've got Dead Zergling first in chat. We've also got Loose and Jelly and Loyal to Soil. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Gotta get in here fast or you might miss the stream due to Frownie's internet, Zergling says. Thought it died again. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how long it was out. I waited around a bit, but after a while I just gave up and went to bed. I figure if the stream is down for more than 30 minutes, then it's just going to be gone for the rest of the night. Even if the internet comes back, like, I don't want to wait around longer than 30 minutes. Zergling is on a 5 stream streak, plus the 97 that were unjustly lost. Thank you, Zergling. And yeah, for Tuesday, Greg, I imagine their streaks are probably destroyed. We made it for tonight's stream. Last night was wild, Loyal says. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's just, you know, my internet. Sometimes it just goes away for no reason. Hey, Loyal's on a 20 stream streak. Thank you, Loyal. Wow. I knew we'd been seeing you a whole lot lately. I didn't know it was that consistent. I actually got credit for yesterday's stream. A little weird, considering I didn't get credit for hanging out 5 hours, Zergling says. I might need to find new hobbies / life goals, honestly. I'm very grateful to have you here, Zergling. Of course, I would hate to be an interference to your other pursuits. Yesterday's joke will forever be lost to the universe. Yesterday's joke might be recycled at the beginning of tomorrow's stream. I checked the VOD. I know the VOD isn't published, but I checked it right before the stream. I'm gonna press some buttons while we talk, by the way. We're gonna play a couple hours of Jump King tonight, and we're gonna also play 50 video games included later on. So, it's gonna be a bit of a janky night. But I checked the VOD right before the stream, and the joke is not included in the VOD. The VOD is literally me turning on my face cam, and like 2 seconds later, before I can say a single word, before I can even like start to look at the camera, like getting ready to say the joke, it's that guy holding his head icon, and that's it for the rest of the VOD for another like 3 minutes. It's just that. So the joke didn't get put out there in the world. It is, however, here's the thing. Here's why I might decide not to recycle that joke. Is it is still captured in my version of the VOD locally. There's a few extra minutes on my end. So I might put that up on YouTube, and if I do that, I wouldn't want to repeat that joke. So I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about what I'm gonna do with that. I kind of like the idea of publishing the shortest, most pointless VOD into the archive. 50 video games included as an exciting snake game coming up. I don't actually remember what was coming up next. I know we didn't look at it. I didn't want to dip into it early. I feel like it had an intriguing title, whatever it was, but I don't remember what that was. So yeah, so tomorrow night we're gonna do our first Battletoads Tuesday on Thursday. Since Tuesday got ruined and I really want to play Battletoads, we're gonna do that tomorrow on Thursday. If the stream hadn't been ruined, I was thinking about playing a new Contra game tomorrow. But sadly, things didn't work out to my preferences, so. But it'll be okay. We're going to get to play Battletoads tomorrow, and I am very excited for that. And I went ahead and committed to Splatterhouse 2 on Friday. The long-awaited triumphant return of our Splatterhouse 2 challenge run. It's very nice to be back up here, but I'm not doing a very good job at handling all the slipperiness of these platforms. Hey, EpiPen, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to Jump King. Probably just the standard 2 hours of Jump King tonight. I know we started a little bit early, but I might also end up finishing a bit early tonight, so. I want to make sure I don't rob 50 video games included of any of its time. Oh. Have you thrown your hat into the Jump King ring? I hope your first playthrough goes way more smoothly than mine did. I have the worst possible first playthrough on record. I beat it on my first try. 25,000 jumps, no falls. Unbelievable record. I'm still not out of the first tower. That seems slightly more realistic. Hey, Greg, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, Greg, and thank you for joining us. I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday my stream died 6 minutes into the stream, so if your watch streak ended up being reset, my sympathies. It was sadly completely beyond my control. I'm just playing 5 or 10 minutes at a time, usually when I'm relaxing. When it starts making me unrelaxed again, I stop and relax by not playing. Fair enough. What worked for me in the end was short, regular sessions. I mean, by short, I was playing about 2 hours at a time, but I had I think, well, I'm fairly positive that part of what made my first playthrough so awful was that I played very inconsistently, and I took very long breaks from the game. And that made it real hard to, like, stay in practice and stay in the groove. But when I switched to 2-hour daily sessions, I started making progress, like, immediately. Well, not immediately, but three nights into the project, I made more progress than I'd made in the previous, like, 8 months. Stream notification. You said check in a few minutes. So far, it looks like it reset. Yeah, that's kind of what I expect to be the case for everyone. I guess I'll start over, I guess. It's like Jump King, right? Sometimes you get unfairly robbed of your progress. And what can you do but just start over, right? I believe Zergling is probably the only regular that wasn't affected, but unfortunately he had been previously robbed by some mysterious glitch, so it's kind of all leveled out. You just use the 5 pounds of ground beef for the chili? But you had a beef hot dog on top of today's serving at least. Hopefully that was good at least. I mean, to your point before about if you don't like it, you're gonna have 5 or 6 days worth of food you don't enjoy. You know, maybe constructing it sort of after the fact like that is probably a pretty good idea. I've actually done that with foods before. Foods I was really skeptical about combining together. Making them in a deconstructed way, and then just trying to eat like a bite of each of the elements together, but having them separate in case it grossed me out too much. When I first experimented with topping my stir fry with a fried egg, I kept the fried eggs on a separate plate on the side. So that everything wouldn't be contaminated if I found it, if I found the flavor combination or the texture to be too repellent. I think it's fair to say we're all planning a search party when you didn't show up for Battletoads. Oh, I know. Well, we're gonna try and do Battletoads tomorrow. We're gonna have our first Battletoads Tuesday is actually gonna be a Thursday because I really want to play Battletoads. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow instead. Sometimes when the internet goes down, I can get on my phone and at least check into the Discord on mobile, but I can't even do that currently because I'm having trouble with my phone internet. I think I might have used my data all up or something. I'm having trouble with the internet on my phone lately. I personally liked my mental image of Frownie streaming for 3 hours without realizing he was off the air. I had a good laugh about that, Circling. I liked that you thought that might be what I was up to. And the funny thing is, I can't even disagree. I can't even say it's not realistic. Good analogy, my friend Greg says. Making progress in Tears of the Kingdom. 106 shrines. Most of the depths mapped out. Right on. I don't remember how many shrines there ended up being in the game. Total. I would not say. I don't want to say because like they don't remind me. Nobody tell me in the chat because I don't want to potentially spoil it for Greg. But I'm just saying. I know there's more than I thought there would be. But I'm trying to think of like what percentage you're at, and I'm not sure because I don't remember the total. Might fry up some shrimp and throw in tomorrow's chili and see how it goes. Zergling says, I just bought a bag of shrimp myself. I think I'm gonna have shrimp for dinner tomorrow night. Jelly and I got pizza tonight. We needed something quick and easy. So we just picked up a pizza. But tomorrow I think I'm gonna have shrimp and maybe broccoli and, well, definitely shrimp and broccoli and maybe some beets. Jelly's been making beets lately. And they're pretty all right. Not sure exactly, Greg says. Only heard there's more than in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, we fell all the way back down there. We fell all the way back down. But I got the progress. I got our progress back. It only took 2 nights, I think. I'm sure it's not the first time we lose it either. Been on the edge of my seat since that cliffhanger. Beets are pretty good, actually, EpiPen says. I don't like them as much as I like some other vegetables, but because they're a little earthy. They're a little bit earthy for my taste, but they're pretty good. I'm happy to have them every so often. They're the worst. They're the worst thing to handle, though. Handling beets it's just like it's like breaking open an ink pen all over everything. The red juice from beets stains everything. It's wild. It's wild, like, how powerful a stain beet juice is. Now I have real Jump King empathy, EpiPen says. Maybe it's just watching you patiently play, but it's not a bad Switch game. Not a bad game at all. Jump King is quite brilliant. It's good for the Switch because of the whole pick up and play, put back down at will. Loads fast, ideal for Switch. My favorite, like, just, like, pick up for a short while game had been Super Mario Brothers 35. I miss that game because while that was still active, like, that was my go-to, like, if I've got 5 minutes to play a game, that's what I was playing. And I would there would be a lot of times where I would plan to play something else, and I would sit down and I'd be like, why don't I warm up with some Mario 35? It's early in the morning, and then that would be all I ended up playing. I would get sucked into it. It's an easy one to pick up, but it was an easy game to pick up, but it was a hard game to put down. It was too easy. It was too easy to keep telling myself, just one more match. Just one more match. I also like the Ace Attorney series and South Park games on Switch. A little progress here and there. Those I have no experience with. The Ace Attorney games I know my sister likes. I expect I would probably hate them. Because they look like they're nothing but dialogue to me. They look like they're nothing but talking. So I don't think they're to my taste, but I know my sister loves them. She's a lot more in the RPG camp than I am. I think her favorite video game for a long time, maybe still is, I'm not sure, was Breath of Fire on the Super Nintendo. But she likes Ace Attorney, Professor Layton. She likes Harvest Moon. We have overlap with Harvest Moon. We both really like those. She really likes those Rune Factory games too. And I think I would be able to get into those. I haven't given one a try. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book meets Carmen Sandiego. I was definitely skimming. I like RPGs with dialogue like Zelda 2, where everyone's got like a single box, like a single window box for their entire dialogue, and every sentence can be like 7 or 8 words long at the most. Like that's the kind of village I want to walk through, where everyone's got like I am error levels of dialogue, and that's it. I know nothing at all. Spies of Ganon are everywhere. Everyone's got one short, to the point sentence. Hey, Kyle, welcome in. Thank you for the watch streak, my friend. 20 streams. Very much appreciated. And glad to see your watch streak wasn't destroyed. A lot of people's watch streaks were destroyed because of yesterday's stream crash. But yours is still alive. Loyal's is still alive. Yeah, exciting quests like getting some water for a woman from a well that's 10 feet away. She probably accounts for 20% of DoorDash's revenue. Ace Attorney is like a book, a murder mystery book you have to solve. It's definitely not an RPG. It's meant to be read like a book. if I want to read a book, and I read a book every now and then, but if I want to read a book, I'll go to a book. I don't want to pick up a video game to get the experience that a book is supposed to give me. Hey, Salem, welcome in. You remind me of the babe. It's been a while since I've watched Labyrinth. I didn't expect to enjoy it that much, but next thing I knew, I'd bought and played them all, EpiPen says. It's very frightening up here. Don't overshoot. So this screen is the highest I've been to. Oh, there we go. That screen there is the highest screen I've been to. And it remains my PB. I actually made it a couple platforms higher than that. So we didn't... We got to the highest screen we've ever seen, but I didn't actually tie my PB for height. I feel like I should have said something about cats. You always do best when I'm talking about cats. My cats haven't really done anything interesting lately. I don't think there's anything to share regarding my cats. I watched someone play a first-person shooter where the game had a vacuum that could shoot and suck up kittens as weapons. Sounds pretty zany. I think kittens would work better as armor. Who could attack you when you're covered with adorable kittens? Could we be careful with, Can we maybe be careful with stereotypes like that? I would prefer not to have that kind of thing in the chat, please. I wasn't where I thought I was. I thought I was on the screen before. I got a hacky sack ball that looks like our cat and started playing hacky with it, and my girlfriend got upset. Oh, was that to help me out? Until I gave it to her as a gift and put it on her desk at work so she could think of him. That was today, by the way. Thanks, Barnes & Noble. I never really learned how to use a hacky sack properly. Like, I never developed the coordination to keep one up in the air for more than one kick. They were pretty popular for a while when I was in middle school. Hey, Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, my friend. Welcome in. And happy Tuesday to you. Apologies, Tuesday, if your watch streak has been destroyed. I had bad internet yesterday. And a lot of people, unfortunately, have been reset unjustly. I don't think it was meant to be a hacky sack, but it was the perfect size. Sand-filled little baggie. No worries, Zergling. That, I know you don't mean anything, I know you're not malicious or anything like that. I just want to be extra careful. Your Tuesday streak is still alive. There can be only one. Sorry to hear about others losing their record. How do you check streaks? It should be where your channel points are. If you've got a little icon that looks like a piece of meat, somewhere in the bottom left, probably, of your chat window. If you click on that, it should show your watch streak at the bottom of the redemption options. It was really common for people to play hacky sack when they went out for smoke breaks when you're in college. Yeah, people, a couple of my classmates, like, got really obsessed with, getting good at the hacky sack when I was in middle school. And I had one. My dog ate it, though. Our dog was like an outdoor. We had a yard dog, and for whatever reason, he came inside one time, and I don't remember if we let him inside for some reason, or if he just stormed the door one time. But he came into the house and he ate my hacky sack. He gobbled. He was a Labrador. He was a black lab. He was a pretty big dog, and yeah, he scooped that hacky sack up and just swallowed it in one gulp. It was pretty wild. Mine says 2, which I thought was more. Definitely wasn't broken by yesterday. Twitch Plays Favorites is more like it, Circling says. I might have to depart soon anyway. I'm not a fan of Twitch's new commercial strategies. Are you getting more ads than usual? More ads, I think so too, EpiPen says. On channels other than here, I absolutely am. I was regularly getting 3 minutes worth of ads on another channel every half hour. Unacceptable. I certainly haven't adjusted any of my ad settings, so if anything is different, it's 100% on Twitch's end. I've never adjusted a single setting in regards to ads, and I've only ever looked at it once. But I was like, I don't understand if I do anything to it. I don't understand if it's gonna make it better or worse, and just didn't want to risk it. Banner ad showing up I could live with, but full show interrupt for 3 minutes. Washed up actors trying to sell me stuff. I'd rather sit on my hands and watch the grass grow. They're trying to push the $15 a month no ads plan. Twitch ads are getting rather long nowadays, Tuesday says. YouTube too, both fighting desktop ad blockers pretty hard. So I don't actually... I've used ad blockers for YouTube before. I don't currently use one. Because I don't watch YouTube on a computer anymore. I only watch on my tablet and my TV. It's one of those like smart TVs. And I mean, if there's a way to do ad blocker on either of those, I don't understand how to do it. So I've just been living with the ads. Google is planning to change the way Chrome extensions work to block ad blockers. If they catch you not skipping the ads, they play longer and longer and longer ads. I figured they would do that if they caught you skipping them as a punishment. Two-hour infomercials about buying gold is common. I don't think I've seen that one, but I definitely have seen multi-hour ads come up. One time it started playing Shrek. Just the entire movie, that was the ad. Honestly, if that happened to me, like if an ad came up for me and it turned out to just be a movie, I would just watch it. If the ad came up and it was just the movie Shrek, I might just sit there and watch it. 5 to 12-minute ads with the skip button. I've noticed I've been getting ads on Amazon Prime, but I don't know. I haven't actually checked to see if what I'm watching is in the free with ads category. It might be, so in which case I couldn't really complain, right? Amazon Prime wants you to pay more money to go ad-free again. Well, see, the thing I've heard about that, and I don't know. The thing I've heard about that is that they actually don't. They actually don't want you to buy the ad-free options because they make more money from the ads than from the subscriptions. That the raising of the subscription fee has more to do with sort of beating people into submission to just accept the with ads tier, because that's much more profitable. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably, yeah, I mean, yeah. That's the thing, is like I'm already subscribed to Prime for the shipping. So any streaming options that they have are all just bonus to me. I'm so used to being subscribed to Prime already for the shipping. Amazon bought MGM. Didn't hear that. I would be fine with putting up with ads if they actually listen to the, hey, I really don't like the content in this ad. Please don't show it to me again. Done that dozens of times. They keep showing me the same ads I hate. It might be the same thing Tuesday. When you report an ad like that, it probably triggers an algorithm to play it more. To beat you into submission, to force you to like the thing they're advertising. Hey Otaku, welcome in. Wizard of Oz and Spaceballs, two of my favorite movies, Greg says. Oh, yeah. I've gotten a few political ads. It hasn't been nonstop yet. When it gets to that point, I may just give up watching anything that's not a DVD. I may, at some point, I'm gonna have to check out and say to myself, you know, I'm just gonna watch DVDs until mid-November. Find the political ads really annoying, Otaku says. I mean, I can't say that I have ever been, I can't say that I've ever been, I've ever based my decision on how to vote for any position or on any topic on the content of an advertisement. 20 8x11 card stocks every time I check the mail. Exactly, Zergling says, has anyone ever watched a political ad and thought, I was going to vote for person A, but this ad tells me person A is evil. I must vote for person B instead. Time to watch more sport ball. I do actually like superhero movie ads, though, Otaku says. I mean, an ad catered to your needs and interests, like, can be useful. But you know, I don't think I'm ever going to live in the utopia where every ad I see is for something I either want or need. All the amazing possibilities of AI, and what is it going to be used for? Targeted ads. Yeah, pretty much. I just bought the Hot Ones season 23 pack from a Facebook ad because it was on sale. I've looked at those. They're quite pricey generally. But you can find one on sale. People have recommended them to me as something that I should use on the stream because we used to have hot sauces once upon a time. And eventually will again. If I could find the time and energy to finish putting my room back together. Or like $35 off. Yeah, that sounds like probably a really good deal. Ads kind of work the opposite on me. I refuse to buy anything for ads I was forced to watch, essentially. I mean, I would like to have that policy. But I mean, it's not very practical. On the other hand, the overwhelming majority of stuff that I buy is stuff that is stuff I don't see ads for. Is stuff I never see ads for. If I'm actually interested in a product or service, I will watch hours of YouTube videos over several days to figure out which one I want. Hey, we have a raid coming in. Can I not type? Why do I hear cat sounds? It's probably the cats. Mile Hyro, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, my friend. It says you were playing Dead Cells, if the bot is to be believed. That's, I think I know what Dead Cells is. It's been recommended to me. It's like a, it's kind of like one of the, like, Metroid-y Castlevania games. If I'm thinking of the right thing. EpiPen says the hot sauces, all of them are really good. Way less hot than I expected, though. The last few do leave a mark. Right on. I've been curating some excellent hot sauces. I usually mute ads I can't skip, Greg says. Yeah, I tried to do that too. Especially on the TV. I just had an idea, Tuesday says. Intriguing. Marvel Midnight Suns and like 30 minutes of Dead Cells at the end. That's the game. Right on. Hope you're enjoying it. No spoilers. Yeah, thank you. Definitely, yeah, no spoilers, please. Dead Cells is a roguelike Metrovania thing. Oh no. Oh no, I hear that word roguelike. I don't like those kinds of games. Reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 2. The name that is not the game. You think Frownie will ever play that? I've got to somehow live through Metal Gear Solid 1 first. He's gonna play every game ever made at some point. Someday I'll run out of platformers. I'll have to play other genres. Yeah, wouldn't count. I do own a copy of it, so I'm a step. I'm at least one step. I'm at least one step toward playing it someday. But I would first have to make it through Metal Gear Solid 1 and not hate it. In order to play Metal Gear Solid 2, I have to play through Metal Gear Solid 1 first, and I have to not hate Metal Gear Solid 1 by the time I'm done with it. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's just not going to happen. I could, you never know. I could have a complete, like, reversal of my personality. If I had played Metal Gear Solid, if I'd had a PlayStation when I was in high school, if I'd played Metal Gear Solid in like middle school or high school, I would probably love it as much as everyone else does. I didn't always have such strong, I didn't have such a strong intolerance for non-gameplay in video games once upon a time. I mean, I have been the way I am for quite a while now. But I used to be different is all I'm saying. There's a 0.2% chance you like Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I feel it's probably pretty low. Twin Snakes is my favorite Metal Gear game, Otaku says. That's the only one I've played any of so far. We played it for, like Mile Hyrule said, we played it for 3 hours one night on the stream, but it didn't go well. I had a very hard time with it. I think I beat the first boss. I think I made it to the first boss by the end of our time with it. So I at least did that well, but I just, oh my goodness, I couldn't figure out how to do anything in it. I couldn't figure out how any of the controls worked and what I was supposed to do or where I was supposed to go. It was just a mess. It was just the worst. Never played that one, Greg says. I can't really speak to how it compares, having not tried the original or any other game. The second one is your favorite though, Greg? Blackthorn bought this game because of me. Oh no. I like to hear that on the one hand, but I don't want to be responsible for anyone's ill fate. I've been trying to add a little salsa and sour cream back in my diet lately. My stomach and guts don't appreciate this idea at all. Their response is pain, and what are you doing? Oh. I'm tempted to buy this game too, Tuesday says. I mean, I've already... I don't know... I don't think it was explicitly said that it was because of me. But, EpiPen has taken this game on already. No, seriously though, I think this game is definitely worth, it's definitely worth playing. I really like this game. I'm really glad to have played it and to have stuck with it And, you know, I would 100% be glad for other people to have like that, the experience I've had. Most of the experience I've had, the sense of accomplishment that you get if you actually pull it off. Like, I think that's great. No, I thought I could make that jump. Does this game have an end? It has several endings. We've already reached 2 of them. Oh, the robbed. That's supposed to be free. The more I watch Frownie play this game, the less likely I am to play it, Circling says. The streams are the reason why I won't buy it, Craig says. Good luck to anyone who plays this torture chamber, game. Hey, Derek, welcome in. We've made it up pretty high on the tower twice tonight. That's, this is, I don't want to get my hopes up, but we've been doing pretty well tonight. Hey, cows, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, my friend. Popping by for a moment to shout some encouragement before heading off to bed. I'm terribly under the weather. I don't think I managed to stay awake for the stream. I'm very sorry to hear that, cows. You're gonna be missed, my friend. I hope that you sleep well. I hope you recover swiftly. Terribly under the weather. Get all the sleep that you need, cows. We want you feeling at your best, and hopefully back with us soon. But we're gonna miss you. Claire, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Happy what Tuesday, sis? And Ooze, welcome in. Thank you for joining us as well. Thank you for the stretch break. Just making sure I didn't leave anything like my driver's license or birth certificate out, sitting out in front of the camera before we go big mode. Always a good sign when we tune in and you're in a place we've never seen in this game. We're doing all right tonight, Claire. We're doing all right. He just has more points, and seems like you always need a stretch break playing this. Eric says I've watched all of the original Planet of the Apes movies. Now for the modern ones. EpiPen says we're watching the Planet of the Apes movies now too, alternating from the originals and the prequels so far. Slightly interesting, slightly agonizing. The new ones really are good though. Just long, EpiPen says. I'd heard recently that the reboot series is actually supposed to be pretty good. I've seen the original Planet of the Apes, and I think I saw the first remake. I don't know if I saw the whole thing. I don't remember liking it that much. I did like the original movie though, for what it was worth. I thought it was I felt like it was pretty enjoyable. I haven't seen it since high school though. It's been a while. Yeah, marathoning them in preparation for the new one. Hey, Sweesh, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Sorry about the no stream situation yesterday. My internet died 6 minutes into the stream. I didn't even get to say a single word. I turned on my face cam and like 2 seconds later the internet was gone. And it stayed gone till question marks. I don't know. I went to sleep. I gave up. I pretty much decided that I wasn't going to come back to the stream, even if the internet did come back after about 30 minutes. Sometimes my internet goes out, but it comes back like real quick. But if it's out for 30 minutes, then I just abandon it. But I couldn't even leave a message in the Discord because it stayed out so long. I just went to bed. Had a whole month with bad connections. We had a really good streak for a few months where I don't think it went out at all. But the past, like, I don't know, the past, like, 2 or 3 months. It seems like every other week. It seems like I'm having a rough night of it, like, every other week at least. I mean, I am to a degree enjoying the break from the wheel. It's not so much... It's not so much the break from the wheel, but it is nice to have... It is nice to have one fewer thing that interrupts the stream. Change it to the wheel of vitamins. I take my vitamins every night after the stream. That's the best thing that interrupts the stream. I just took the wheel down because I've been moving all my stuff around down here and trying to reorganize and clean the room, and I just hate like it's just one more thing that's just in the way. Like when I want to set stuff on the table to organize it, and I've got all those old bottles of hot sauce and warheads and pistachios and all that stuff, and the big old wheel itself in the way. And I just feel like every time I walk by it, those little metal prongs that stick out from it grab onto my clothing, and I knock it over, and it's just irritating. It just irritated me so much when I was moving stuff around. I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this off until I'm done reorganizing my room. But it's nice to have the thing that... to have one less thing. All of us but Frownie look forward to the wheel. The wheel is 100% coming back. There are people that don't believe it. There are doubters who think the wheel is not ever going to come back, and that is not true. Because I've got like 25 little bottles of hot sauce that I bought to go onto the wheel that haven't been used up. Like the wheel has to come back. I've already bought the hot sauces for it. It's not gonna stay away forever because I'm gonna want to use those up and get my money's worth out of them. So you can believe it will be back, but I don't want to get your hopes up. Maybe by the end of the month. Because if the month goes the way I want it to, I might be putting some Halloween decorations up at the end of May. And the wheel would be a good excuse to show them off. So... if you're really lucky, I'd say there'd be good reason to expect the wheel might be back by the end of May. Can't stay for very long. We have a national holiday. Men's Day. We're gonna go hiking and drink a lot, Sweesh says. Well, I hope that you are safe and responsible, but I also hope you have a tremendously fun time. Sounds like it's gonna be a good time. Yeah, the last week of May is Halloween, so I'm gonna wanna decorate and show off the decorations, and the wheel is perfect for that. So cross your fingers for me. Wish me luck, and hopefully I'll get the room to my liking, and the wheel will be back. I have heard many promises in the past, and to protect myself from unwanted emotional damage, I must doubt. I mean, I can't say that isn't wise, Zergling. This was free, right? Okay, that's free. Oh no. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. This tower is too tall. Section with the shaking walls is kind of weird. It's good at putting me on edge. Yeah, as long as I'm not falling down the left-hand side. Yeah, I'll take the punishment all day long if it's the right-hand punishment. Just don't make me fall on that other side, please. you can kind of save yourself on that side too. I just don't know how to do it, so it's not gonna happen if I do fall on that side. Yuck. So I tried a new drink today. You know, I'm always trying new drinks on the stream, and then I don't know what to say about any of them. I could never describe them. I tried a new drink today, and I could actually describe it. It was very good. It was something they have at Starbucks. It was like summer sky, something like that. It's it's got like raspberry, um, like the stuff that goes into boba tea. Like it's got raspberry pearls in it, and it's really good. It's got this like it's like a berry flavored lemonade with coconut milk or coconut water put into it, and so it's not very sweet at first, and it definitely tastes like coconut, but it's very refreshing. And then the raspberry pearls are like overly like super sweet. So when you get one of those, like it balances out really nicely. And it was a delightfully refreshing drink. So I had one of those from Starbucks. But then the weird thing that happened was we also bought a package of Starburst, like those all those all red Starbursts bags, and it was like the big like sharing size. And I don't know if any of this makes a difference, but I want to be specific because of the experience I had. And when I opened up the Starburst bag, I noticed the inside of the bag smelled really weird. Like not bad, but it had a very distinct smell when like I put my, especially like, you know, when I put my nose in the bag and like inhaled all the candy at once. I was like, it had this smell I couldn't place. I was like, what is this? And I handed it to Jelly, and she was like, I don't know, it smells like Play-Doh, like sweet Play-Doh. And I was like, no, I disagreed. It didn't smell like Play-Doh to me. But what it smelled like that drink that we had earlier in the day. The inside of the Starburst bag that I had later in the evening smelled exactly like the berry drink that I had from Starbucks earlier in the day. And when I told Jelly that, she agreed with me. So it wasn't just me that thought that. I don't know why. I don't know how that was, because there's no coconut in this. There's not a coconut flavored Starburst, and the drink definitely had coconut. Cat stuff, you know. Sounds super delicious. It was. I probably, like, I wouldn't buy another one because it was like $6 for a pretty small drink. But I don't regret having it once. What I'd really like to do is just figure out how to make it taste alike. I'm out. Have fun, everyone. Good night, Sweesh. Thank you for spending some time with us. Enjoy your day. Red is a weird color dye with a strange history. It used to be made of crushed beetles. I saw something. Apparently, if you have a green book from the 1800s, you need to be careful because the dye they used back then for green was toxic. I have a couple books from the 1800s. I don't think none of them are green though. Although one of them has a green in it. One of them has a lot of green in it, now that I think about it. So maybe I should be careful. Toxic green dyes, yeah. Beetles were still used for red up until very recently. Starbucks and Starburst. Everything red was using it less than 10 years ago. I don't typically give a lot of thought to the origin of the dyes that I encounter. I assume that, I pretty much assume that any of that stuff, like food dyes or flavorings or any of that stuff, comes from very, I just automatically assume it comes from some dubious source. But I just don't worry about it. I try not to consume overwhelming quantities of junk, but at the same time, like, I'm not living with a super rigid, like, set of standards either. I make the overwhelming majority of my food myself, and the stuff that I make tends to be, I think, pretty simple and reasonably nutritious. And once or twice a week, I'll have something that's of a more junk food type nature, empty calories. Red dye 5. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I said I have a couple books from the 1800s. I've got one. So I've got a copy of The Lady in the Lake. I've got a copy of a book called Night Scenes from the Bible. And I've got a copy of a book that is... It's an anthology of a mid-1800s fashion magazine. And so that's the one that has a lot of green in it, because inside it has a lot of these like full color prints of dresses. It's all... I mean, it's got a lot of text in it. It's probably, you know, mostly text. Just articles about just various stuff. I haven't even read most of it. But the illustrations in it are amazing. For something that was printed so long ago, like the I feel like the detail and the coloring is just very fascinating. If you ever want to plan the perfect crime, you could use your old books to make poison. Would hope that I am never driven to the point of desperation that would lead to such nefarious acts. There's the easy jumps and the hard jumps and the new jumps that you haven't learned yet. It'd be a mystery for Monk to solve. My default fictional detective is Columbo. Jelly and I have been watching a lot of Columbo lately. It's all we watch, so it's all I talk about. It's the only thing we watch. My sister's dad loves Monk, and they can't stand it. Monk is okay. I have some mixed feelings about it overall, but it's all right. I've watched Jelly and I watched it together. Jelly likes it. It's something that she used to watch like when it was current, and then I don't know, a few years ago we watched 3 or 4 seasons of it. So quite a, a pretty substantial chunk. The mysteries in Monk are usually very silly though. There's always the plots are frequently like very cartoonish. I wouldn't be surprised if I were watching an episode of Monk and I found out and they revealed that the murder is committed because the suspect painted a brick wall to look like the continuation of a road, and the victim drove into it. Like those, like that kind of silly scenario I would not be surprised to see that as the central mystery to an episode of Monk. Oh. Which is all right, It's okay to have, to have sort of like a lighthearted, because that's the thing. It's you a lot of times, like even though they're frequently murder mysteries, they try to keep a pretty lighthearted tone at the same time, and it's okay, but it's silly. It is like that. I never watched Columbo, but I'm very aware of how satisfying it can be to binge a particular flavor of mystery detective show. And my sister kind of got us into it because she's been a huge Columbo fan for a long time. I don't know why she started watching it. But she encouraged me for a long time to check it out, and I finally did, and now we're actually making time to watch. The episodes are all super long. Each one's like a little movie, and there's so much. They take their time. Episodes of Columbo, they take their time. Like there's so much just filler stuff happening. It's a very laid back pace. Matlock, same thing. Even House, even though it's a medical mystery. Yeah, I got into that show, House. I watched that pretty much all the way through. I've seen it all the way through. I did fall off at some point when it was still in production, but I've since gone back and watched the seasons that I missed. Watched a lot of it several times, get into a random episode, and start binging again. Oh no. It's another one of these shows that went on too long, though, trading out key cast, not knowing how to write the end. It's pretty, yeah. I mean, that really just kind of seems to be the fate of pretty much all shows, right? So many of them. Maybe not necessarily the trading out the cast, though that is pretty common. But they go on for so long, they become self-parody, and then they have no idea how to end. Yeah, and the that's season 9, right? Is the last one after she left. Yeah, I've got a very tenuous grip on like what that season's like. I haven't revisited it like I have some of the rest of the series. Loyal says, I really do enjoy having you on in the background while I unwind and relax at night. Very low stress and fun. Thank you, Loyal. Very, very grateful for that. Only watched the last season once. Thought I'd seen it before. The last couple episodes are not something I remembered. Yeah, just really the only thing I remember about the last season is that like that first episode where he comes back to the hospital and the patient is like just a set of lungs in a box. It's like it has a very like weird and sinister vibe to that whole episode. I don't know. I was like, wow, the tone of this has gotten strange. That episode sticks with me. I don't know. I think just that image of like the lungs in the box or whatever, I found unnerving. Skewed everything for me. What show are you talking about? House, Loyal. House MD. I remember they were pushing for new content very hard. That's really the only episode that I remember from that season. And I just remember, whoa. Things feel sinister. You don't think you've ever heard of it? It was pretty big. It was a medical show from the 2000s. Playing Switch while you frustrate yourself with Jump King, Derek says. We've actually gone longer than I expected to. At some point here, we're going to need to switch for some 50 video games included. I'll keep going with this just a little longer because I've been... When I get to the tower, I've been doing pretty well. I haven't been up there for a little while now. Oh, I disagree. I disagree. The Tetris block is there. I shouldn't have bumped into it. I should have landed on it. Game is wrong. That one was my fault, sadly. I don't accept responsibility for that that first one. I say, knowing full well it does no good to argue. Very frustrated. I had been making one of those jumps the opposite way. Finally. I almost lost it all right there. That was almost the end of the road for your good friend Frownie. There's no way I make this, right? Yeah, there's absolutely no way. I think that's my new PB. I don't think I've stood on that. I think I jumped that last ledge I was standing on. I think that is the highest I've been, because I think I over jumped that one last time, and how I ended up back in the bog. Hey, Losses, welcome in. Great try. Thank you. Thank you. That was a good run. That was a good run. Yeah, it wasn't off the left-hand side. Well, that's what it was last time. I think the last time I went for that, the jump before the one I fell this time. The last time I went for that, I overshot to the left and ended up back in the bog. So, yeah, that's great. That's I think that's new. I'm calling that new PB. That jump across to that tiny platform, though, that's rough. That jump across is rough. I don't know how I'm gonna survive. I think I'm probably not. Yeah. That one is, yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst fall that I've had, is falling down the left-hand side there. That's the worst I've done. I had a pretty nasty fall in the New Babe Plus area. I missed the next to last jump in the New Babe Plus area and fell through 3 zones when we were playing that. So that would probably be the second worst fall I've had. Oh, what am I doing? I wasn't even paying attention with that jump at all. That was just a random blind jump. I wasn't seeing anything that was on the screen. I was just seeing the inside of my own brain. I was visualizing the fall that I was describing. And I was completely blind to what was actually in front of me. Something that's weird. That's kind of weird that I experience semi-frequently. So I usually I like to have some sort of audio playing when I go to sleep. Just some kind of white noise in the background. And it might be like, I might throw up like a video essay on YouTube, or I might put on an audio book or something like that. You know, something that I've read before, so it doesn't matter if I fall asleep and miss big chunks of it. So I have something like that playing when I go to sleep, and a lot of times, like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and the weird thing is, like, I fell asleep with something playing, and I wake up and it's dead silent. And it stays dead silent until I think to myself, didn't I have an audiobook playing when I fell asleep? And then when I remember that I'm supposed to be able to hear an audiobook, then I can suddenly hear it, even though it's been playing the whole time. Because when I wake up, I guess I've forgotten that it was playing. I can't hear it. I hear nothing, and then it just pops into existence when I remember it's supposed to be there. It's so weird. I mean, I guess it's not really weird. I mean, it is, but like, I mean, I guess that's how perception is supposed to work, right? But it's odd to have like such a recurring stark example of like awareness like filtering out stimuli in your environment. Or lack of awareness, rather. But I'll experience that. I'll experience that at least once a week, easily. It's like there's a famous video of some basketball players that is a similar perception test. That to describe it too much gives it away for anyone who hasn't checked it out for themselves. So even implying there's a trick to it is probably an unfortunate thing, because I never got to. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. But if you do, like the trick to it was spoiled for me before I ever got to experience it, so I didn't get to see firsthand what that is like. But I experience it in my own way with the audiobook situation fairly frequently. I think we'll keep at this for about 20 more minutes. And then we can switch and do the 50 video games for the rest of the stream. I think 20 more minutes. With Jump King, though. I've done pretty well tonight. We've made it. That screen where I hit the new PB just now, we've made it onto that particular screen, I think 3 times tonight. So, like, that's some pretty good climbing to get up there multiple times in a single night. Not bad. Just watched the record speed run of the original Babe. There's a lot of time to be clipped off of it still. This is gotta be a rough game to speed run, right? That kind of surprises me. I would have assumed the speed run would be pretty well optimized, but I also imagine there's probably not a tremendous pool of people who run it. There's no tips on how to time your jumps, which is what I was looking for. Well, I know that that training yourself to count at a steady pace at least works for some people. I try to feel the timing like a musical rhythm. Like sometimes I even press, like I'll press the jump button slightly before I press the directional button so that it gives me like a 1, 2, and then like the rhythm that I press the buttons with, I try to like, I don't really count, but I try to feel that rhythm consistently for the jumps. It's kind of hard to explain. I'd probably do better if I counted, but I usually don't. I do count. I do count when I'm underwater. I do a count for underwater jumps, but I don't for anything else. Down in the bog, there's a jump. There's one jump where I count to 7, and there's another jump where I count to 6. Yeah. Like, that's another thing. Yeah, you have to. You want to get good at recognizing free the free jumps, or you want to be brave enough to experiment to find them. And I'm kind of neither of those things. That hurts me a lot, I know. I kind of get what you're saying. Right on. I like to think I have a fairly decent sense of rhythm. I've been told that I keep rhythm well, by musicians I've played with. And I got the Postman's Challenge in Majora's Mask without the bunny hood. So that's something at least. Maybe not the most difficult rhythm challenge in the world, but that's something. Speaking of Majora's Mask, we got the we have the artwork up there and everything. What a coincidence. Are your parents the musicians? No. My father is a musician. My mom wasn't. But no, I mean people to whom I am unrelated, who don't have a motivation to flatter me. I was unfocused. I was unfocused there. I'm a fairly mediocre musician. I can I can be realistic about about my talents. Um, I perform well enough. I've earned myself a fair bit of food on a few occasions with my music, and I once won a fine bottle of mead in a bardic competition. So I've done okay with music on a few occasions, but I would never describe myself as highly talented. You're basically semi-professional, yeah. I bought a mandolin, was playing it at the park. A little kid came and put a quarter in my case, which is the most flattering thing that ever happened to me, and the second most money I ever made playing an instrument. Hey, that's fantastic. I don't know much about the mandolin. I mean, I know what it is and understand the general concept, but I've never held one and tinkered with it. Uh, Tuning is basically the same, just a little 12 string, only it's 8 strings. I play the guitar. The acoustic guitar is the only thing I really play, but I will occasionally tinker with the bass and the violin and the piano. I know enough about each of those to understand how they're played, but not really to perform anything with them. The skills translate well, yeah. Yeah, so I can understand, like, I have a conceptual knowledge of how conceptual understanding of how they're played because of the sort of overlap. But I haven't put in the practice for any of them to actually be able to perform much of anything. I can play like I can play pretty much any chord progression on the piano because I understand how to build chords on it, and I can just hit the chord changes and sing over top of it. But I can't play an actual rhythm and melody, except for just a couple songs, and only very basic versions of them. The uke too, 4 strings. 3 bottom are pretty much the same. Top is very different. Banjo's the most different. I think that's my favorite. It's light, easy to tote around. I always thought it'd be fun to learn the violin because of its because it's more portable. But I haven't ever been able to get it down. I'm not even comfortable trying to hold a violin. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to hold one properly. One thing I'm looking forward to when I buy a house is getting some amps and drums. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's the only thing about the guitar. I mean, and the guitar is a lot more portable than a lot of other instruments, but still, it's kind of bulky. The drums are my favorite cardio machine. Oh no. Oh no. I wanted to say something about one of those jumps up there, and then I couldn't even make it back to it. I couldn't make it back to it, so I didn't get to say what I wanted to say. It won't be clear unless I say it when I'm standing next to it. It won't be clear what I mean, so Not a great musician, but I love music, and I'm okay at most things. Guitar is my first instrument, so it's what I identify as the most. But playing drums and nobody around is a very liberating experience. I've never really tried. I've never really played like a set of drums or tried to. But I can definitely see why it would be fun. A lot of drummers look like they're having a pretty good time. Hey Omega, welcome in. Here we go again and again and again and again. I admire your tenacity, or is it stubbornness? A little bit of both. A little bit of both. What foolishness. It's definitely foolishness. Insanity? Probably. I'm enjoying this game. I love this game now. All my bad feelings about this game have been washed away entirely. You know, I had a lot of back and forth of this game for a while, but never again. Never again. I am a Jump King fan through and through. This is one of my top 10 games right here. I will never turn my back on Jump King ever again. Human, thank you for the lurk. Very much appreciated, as always. Thank you, thank you. 7 stages of grief. I made my rounds of the Kubler-Ross model. I made my rounds. A little denial and bargaining, if you ask me. If I say it's in my top 10, maybe it'll be kind to me. We've had a couple of victories. Any game that I beat, I typically think much more highly of. Not always. There are the Earthworm Gems and Echo the Dolphins and Dr. Evil Knievel's of the world. There are games that I will never forgive, but a lot of times if I beat a game, I think a lot more highly of it. And Bubsy 1 I'm probably never gonna really like. Bubsy 2 is inoffensive. It's not good. It's like... Bubsy 2 is bad, but it's not the nightmare that Bubsy 1 is. And Bubsy 3D I love. Bubsy 3D is fantastic. It's terrible, but it's also fantastic. Do you think we'll ever beat Jump King? I've beaten Jump King 3 times already, Loyal. I beat the main game once and the DLC twice. The first DLC. I haven't beaten this version of Jump King, but I beat the other two. I beat one of them once and one of them twice. So that's why I'm so positive that I'm gonna beat this one, because I beat the other ones. Before I did that, before I beat, yeah, this is the first playthrough of DLC 2. Yeah, there are 3 quests in Jump King, Loyal, and so we've done 2 of them. This is the last one. I've never beaten this one, but I beat the other 2. That's why I feel so positive. But before I beat any of them, when I was still struggling for the first victory for so long, like that's when I was miserable. That's when I was miserable, and I hated Jump King. I was angry and depressed every time I played this. But after I beat it, then everything changed. Now I love it. And then I beat it. The second and third time were real easy. The first time was a never-ending nightmare. It took me longer than everyone else on the planet combined to beat it. But once I did, then it unlocked, and now I love it. Even if this takes me 400 hours, I'm still okay. I feel good. Yeah, what is it? It's the 5 stages. They're denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. I had a lot of anger and a lot of depression. This game made me very frustrated and made me very sad. But it's all right. I'm full acceptance mode. I'm very happy now. Jump King is a work of art. It's a wonderful game. That's why I can't stop playing it even when I say I'm going to. I said I was going to stop 8 minutes ago, and we keep going. Poor 50 video games included. It's getting all of its time eaten away. It's still pretty early in the night, though. The real art in this game is the crushing falls. No wonder why I'm not a fan of art, Greg says. I've been learning Super Mario Kart and F-Zero. Gotta say, I've been loving how it feels once you know what you're doing. I'm a big fan of Super Mario Kart. F-Zero I don't have any real experience with. I've sampled a little bit of F-Zero, but not enough to really learn like how to really like play it and do well at it. Super Mario Kart, I really love. We played through that on the stream just to do it. We got all the gold, all the first place trophies, all the gold trophies. I think gold is the highest you can get in Super Mario Kart, right? I don't think there's platinum trophies in that one. Sometimes they have platinum trophies if you get first place in every individual race. Which we didn't do that because I don't think the game rewards you for it. But we got gold medals and everything, so I consider that playthrough good enough. The drift boost. Only Mario Kart game I played is Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS, Greg says. I have not played that one. I've played about half of all the Mario Karts that exist, I think. Played Super, I played 64, I played Double Dash, and we did all 3 of those on the stream. Super and 64 I grew up with. Double Dash I missed. We just did that one on the stream. I don't like Double Dash very much. A lot of people, like people who played it in their childhood seem to really love it. I don't like it that much. Double Dash was janky and difficult for me. I played Mario Kart Wii. I really liked Mario Kart Wii. That one was a lot of fun. And I played Mario Kart 8. I like Mario Kart 8 as well. I played it on the Switch. And that's it. I missed all the portable ones. I'd like to do Super Circuit, the one on the Game Boy Advance, because it looks like it looks very similar to the Super NES game, naturally. So we might play through that one. We might play through that one on the stream at some point. The racing games are not necessarily the most exciting thing to stream. They're kind of games that make it hard to interact with the chat. But I like doing them just to like check them off the list of things to do every now and then. Double Dash was my favorite 3D game until 8, and I grew up on Super Mario Kart. I have Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, but never played it yet. I'm a DS fanboy. One racing game I owned. Second video game I owned was a birthday present from my parents. I'm biased. Hey, Final, welcome in. Yeah, you know, I might not actually properly understand the drifting mechanic myself, Omega. I know that you need to slide into turns. I don't think I knew about the boost. I don't think I ever realized it properly. But I don't know, it's been a while since I played it. It's something like, with those games, those are something that I have more of a feel for and not really much of an intellectual understanding of. I kind of play them by instinct. So I might drive differently than I actually notice or could actively explain. Double Dash is the last one that has co-op Grand Prix racing where you can work together to unlock the game. And the drifting in that one feels great to me. Yeah, I mean, you could hold a shell and drift in Mario Kart 64 as well. That's probably a big part of why I don't like Double Dash, is just, I don't know, just because I played, like, Mario Kart 64 was like my main 3D Mario Kart. So it's hard for me, like Double Dash was hard for me to get into just because it feels so different, I think. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just it wasn't really for me. I stuck with it. I played all the way through it. I didn't, you know, dislike it enough to give up, but I struggled with it I found it real hard. I was beginning to wonder if my messages were not appearing in chat, Final says. Was that not your first message? The only message I saw, Final, was where you said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we've entered the jumpy game." And then, "Hey, I was beginning to wonder." I think those are the only two I see on my end. If there were other messages, I don't think they came through to me. But they're coming through now, so. Mission mode, custom emblems, unique parts per character. Ooh, spoiler characters. You could spoil the Mario Kart rosters for me, Omega. I would give you permission to do that. I appreciate the no spoiler approach. I appreciate the caution, but I will say, just, it's a Mario Kart features. Mario Kart is a game you could spoil for me. Any of the past Mario Karts. Don't tell me anything about Mario Kart 9, but all the past ones are fair game. We'll say that just to be safe. I like Toadette in the Mario Kart games where she's available as a character. She's usually my go-to. I use the I think I used Toadette and Red Koopa Troopa in Double Dash. Was my main team. I tried to use everyone at least a little bit, but then when it started getting hard, I leaned heavily into, I think, Toadette and Red Koopa Troopa were my primary team. I don't remember what cart we drove. I think it was mostly a blue cart. It might have been the Baby Mario buggy. I don't remember. But Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8, I used Toadette a lot when I played those. I really haven't played Mario Kart 8 very much. And I haven't played Mario Kart Wii in decades. Dry Bones, Daisy, Waluigi, and Rob. Alright, I've never seen Rob in a Mario Kart game. That's an interesting unlock. Yeah. The using the color of your sparks for your drift. That I am familiar with. With my internet, you never be too cautious. I wouldn't be surprised if I tried to chat and internet jankiness ate them up, Final says. Certainly happens. It's a known bug that the computer cheats at 150cc. I mean, I believe it. You can still win though. You can. It's like it. You know, even if the computer cheats, you can still win. You can do it on the SNES, but it's not as clear. There's sound cues for it though. Yeah, that I don't think I knew about. I don't think I knew about the boost with the SNES drift. Still managed to beat it though, even without understanding it. It might have been easier if I did though. It was definitely tough. Like the set that has the last set, the set with Rainbow Road in it on the Super NES, really tough, really tough. You learned about the drifting from another retro streamer, right on. Crowd controls Super Mario Kart. Crowd control seems kind of fun. I haven't seen a lot of streams with it. A long time ago, I watched Master Tuesday was doing Ocarina of Time with crowd control. That was. I think that's really the only experience I have watching it, but that was a good time. No, I've definitely seen at least one other crowd control. I think it was another Zelda game though. I don't remember who was playing it though. I think I saw Link to the Past with crowd control as well. It's been a long time though. Oh no, the jump down there is the one I wanted to comment on. I just wanted to say, when you're jumping up onto this screen, it's a free jump, and it doesn't matter which direction you jump in. It's actually the jump to get up onto that platform there on my right, that little green platform. It's a free jump, and it's a free jump either to the left or the right. It doesn't matter. It's one of the oddest. It's one of the oddest places. Hey, thank you for the stretch break, Loyal. We'll do that as soon as I fall. Hey, guess what? I fell. And guess what? This is a game-ending fall. I'm about to stretch and then rage quit. Because that just lost us the game. It was nice knowing you, friends. That's the end, I'm afraid. Acceptance back down to anger. It's alright. It's alright. It is what it is. Hang on, I think we can fall even further. The wheel of jumping. I didn't forget about the stretch break. I just don't think we're done falling. It's all your fault, Loyal. You ruined everything. No, you're fine. You're fine. I was pretty much destined to miss that jump. That's a hard jump. I think it was me. I mean, if you want credit for it, you can have it. But I'm not necessarily inclined to blame you. I've missed that jump before. We're still not done falling. Don't worry. There's further to fall. I can't believe you've done this. It's all right. We've got this. I mean, I probably won't recover any of our progress tonight, but you know, we'll get it on Friday. All right, that's about as low as we can go. So now we can stretch. We can still go lower, but this is a good place to stretch. The race to the bottom. I'm gonna have a starburst. So, how about that 50 video games? Yeah. I think it's about that time, Zergling. I've been trying to convince Frownie to let me move in with him. I'd happily pay $56 a month. I don't know. I don't know if you want to move in with me, Loyal. You saw what happened to Isaac. I'll offer 57 if I get to be in the stream. Or any of the 50 video games have a concept that they just couldn't, a good concept they just couldn't execute on, or were they all bargain bin material? No, some of them have been pretty all right. None of them have had like a really, well, I'd have to really reflect on each of the games, because like most of the good ones aren't really a unique concept. They are just a knockoff of something you've seen somewhere else before. We just got a shout out from another stream. That's interesting. I wonder why for. Hey, we have a raid coming in. Oh. And I immediately closed all my windows. Hang on. Where's the chat box? There we are. Hey, Evade, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the good luck wishes. I need good luck, because I've just had the worst luck. I just suffered a devastating fall. I hope you've had a wonderful stream. If you'd care to let us know what you're up to, I'd be all ears to hear it. Something retro, it would appear. Mortal Kombat 2 on the SNES. I'm gonna let you down. I don't really have any experience with that myself to relate. My Mortal Kombat experience is limited to, I've only played a little bit of the first game. I'm shockingly terrible at it. Omega says, I love me some fighting games. Played it a ton as a teen. but to be honest, it doesn't show. Sometimes it sticks with us, sometimes not so much. So we're actually about to shift gears away from Jump King. I'm gonna stick with it a little bit longer. This is for anyone coming in. Jump King is a trolley rage game. People compare it all the time to Getting Over It, which I've never played that one, but if you've watched for a few seconds, you can probably already see this game is quite brutal, and there are no checkpoints or safe spots really anywhere. There are some places that seem safe. There are pseudo safe spots, but there's no real safe spot. You can always fall all the way back down to bedrock from the highest heights, and that's pretty much what we've done in the last, 5 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, I fell, 15 screens worth of height. It's a real calamity. And the thing is, it's not even the first time I've lost that much progress. But I've basically fallen from the highest point I've ever been all the way back down to bedrock. And so I'm going to spend a few fruitless minutes trying to climb my way back up, and then we're just going to throw in the towel for the night. I remember a lot from Mortal Kombat 1 and Killer Instinct, but Mortal Kombat 2 is evidently a complete fog fest as far as my brain is concerned. Yeah, this game is super punishing. That's why we love it, though. We love it because it sharpens us. It burns away. It burns away all of the weak parts of you so that only your strengths remain in the end. Jump King is a refinery of sorts. Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is that's one of the fighting games I'm most familiar with. I was never great at it, but I played it with my cousin when we were kids. Always liked Cinder and Glacius. I like the whole cast. I like the voice that announces them all. Spinal, Orchid. I can't imitate it very well, but I can hear it in my head. I can hear the roster in my head very clearly. It's probably I'm not really a big fighting game guy, but Killer Instinct is one that I just from sheer exposure I have to think fondly of. Rare was at the top of their game in those days. Mortal Kombat, or I keep saying Mortal Kombat, I mean Killer Instinct. Every time I say Mortal Kombat, I mean Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct on the Super NES is it might be the only game that I own like retro game that's still sealed in its box. I don't usually, like, I'm not usually a big, like, I'm not a very, like, I don't collect to speculate. I'm not a, I don't really collect things for their value, so I don't tend to go for items that are boxed, and especially not items that are sealed, but that one I happen to have. I owned a loose copy of it at one point. It was actually one of the games that one of the few games that I actually traded away out of my collection. I traded one of my friends. I gave him Ultraman Toward the Future on the Super NES, and he gave me Killer Instinct. And then I traded Killer Instinct for The Lord of the Rings on Volume 1 on the Super NES. What a miserably horrible game that is. Good trade to get Killer Instinct. Oh yeah, the Ultraman game is terrible. I love it, but it's terrible. I've replaced my copy. I replaced my copies of both Ultraman and Killer Instinct. After I traded them away, I couldn't stand no longer having them, so I had to get new copies of them. And the one, when I got Killer Instinct, I actually found it in Korea when we lived over there. It's the US game. But I bought it in Korea at like a thrift store. What would you call it? Like a flea market type place. And they had a lot of video games there. Yeah, my Hangul skills are all gone. So I can't sound that out anymore. They could have named this game Fall King, but no. They should have. That's what they call it when I play it. So the Korean alphabet is beautiful. It's amazing, because it's actually intentionally constructed. It's not like most languages that just hodgepodge accidentally developed over time. Their alphabet was actually like commissioned by one of their kings at one point in their history. So it's very logical, and it's really easy. It's actually really easy. You can learn to sight read the Korean language in like 30 minutes and have it completely down. I mean, you won't understand anything you're saying, but you will be able to like look at all the characters and pronounce them all perfectly. Or perfect in quotes. You'd be able to pronounce them all well enough to be understood. Yeah, it's a phonetic language, or a phonetic alphabet. And the logic of how the characters are constructed is really, of how the syllables are constructed, is really neat. I never picked up I never picked up a lot of the language, but um, when I lived there, but but yeah, you can very easily figure out how to sound it out, and that's useful if you're living if you're living in Korea as like sort of a long term tourist, because a lot of the signage, you know, if English is your first language, you'll find that a lot of the signage over there is actually English that's just written with Korean characters. So if you can sound it out, then you know what it says. There's a lot of like the signage and stuff is composed is composed of loan words. We're gonna be done. Oh, welcome in, Pink Scully, by the way. Thank you for the lurk. We're done with Jump King for tonight. By the way, we hit bedrock, so we're rage quitting. I'm throwing my remote out the window and stomping my feet and saying I'm done for the night. If I make a fighting game, I'll probably start with 2 special attacks like Mortal Kombat. Have them just be a fireball and a moving kick. Make it interesting. Have some variety, you know. Sounds like a plan to me. My opinions on fighting games should largely be disregarded because I'm not very into the genre. Simple is best though from my perspective. All right, so we're going to switch to our second event of the night. Let me just block out the game here. I need to. That's my name in Korean. Yeah. There's yeah. Some of the phonemes aren't there. All right, I'm gonna copy and paste that. I'll save that in case I need it for future reference. Tried some Bella Vitano cheese today, finally. Started with the gold variety, undecided if I like it yet or not. Gold is that the Chardonnay variety? Well, I think it's isn't the term transliteration for when you write a word in characters from a different language? Might be. I thought it was the most plain variety, so I started with that on purpose. I think I've had that one. I don't. I mean, I like all the ones that I've had so far, but I feel I feel like that the gold variety, if that is the Chardonnay one, which I think it is, I feel like that one was underwhelming to me. I usually like one where the the flavor of whatever they've where the outside flavoring is more pronounced. And I feel like it's really subtle with that one, which is good if you just want to get a taste of just what the cheese is. I like that cheese a lot, though. I mean, I go on about it a lot. It's very, yeah. It's just right for me. We were talking about that earlier, Loyal. Probably at the end of the month, we're gonna try and have the wheel back. So maybe the last week of May. I'm not focusing on what I'm doing, and so it's taking forever to get this switched over. Made some Wisconsin beer cheese soup tonight from scratch, EpiPen says. I, I haven't tried that. I've heard of it. I might be too scared to try that myself. Walmart cheddar and Texas Shiner Bock beer. Maybe Wisconsin is a stretch. Well, if it's a Wisconsin beer recipe, then I think you're required to use New Glarus beer. Yeah, I'm an extremely picky eater, so I'm afraid of things that have melted cheese in them. I can't explain to you all my food rules. There's too many of them and they're contradictory. You just have to trust that I'm afraid to eat almost everything, especially warm dairy and condiments. Frownie eats cheeseless pizza. That's actually not true. I will eat cheese on a burger and on a pizza, but I won't eat it in soup or pasta or salad or most other things where it's mixed with anything, especially produce. All right, I thought I wasn't going to step away, but I've changed my mind. I'm going to step away real quick, and we're going to get switched over to 50 video games included. If you don't know what that is, that's a super jank plug and play. It's very similar to like Action 52 on the NES, same sort of concept, whole bunch of trash games, and we've played 45 of the 50 so far, I think. And by played, I mean like we really try and beat them. Like I play those games way longer than you're supposed to. Sometimes we play just one game for several hours, and I've beaten most of them, but some of them are too hard. I hate to have to admit it, but some of them are just too hard. Some of them are broken, and some of them seem to never end. So there's a handful of them. Of the 45 we've played, I've probably beaten at least 35 of them, but we'll see. We're gonna play a couple of them when I get back. But oh, we just had a new follow. Thank you for that, my friend. Welcome to the stream. I will let you be anonymous if you would like, but I am grateful for you. Hope you're having a fine time. Some are broken, some break you. Yeah, I figured as much. Just wanted to help the viewers know how hypocritical your food views are. Well, they're not really views. They're not what I think food should be. They're just, I find a lot of things repellent. Yeah, it would be incredibly hard for me to take a bite of mustard in any form. It may bring out the cheesiness, but the like number one on my list of terrors is basically 95% of the condiments in the world. Ketchup, mayo, mustard, relish, they're all enemies to me. I can't explain it. All right, let me step away. Like I said, I'm gonna take just a very brief break, and I'll be back with you as quickly as I can.